Well, yes, old people do want to tell their stories. There's no doubt about that. They want to tell their stories. And sometimes they embellish them, right? So, in answer to your question, what do I think my book is about? Well, I think it's about regret because uh, I don't know if any of you have seen this movie called Eleanor the Great. It's a movie with June Squibb. If you don't know her, she's probably mid 90s and she's sharp as a tack on screen and on stage, apparently, because she's just done a Broadway gig. But anyway, she's amazing. And this movie, even though, like everyone else in the world, I love the splashy, incredible, Oscar nominated things, this movie touched my heart. And I related to it because even though it's a movie about grief, and about an older 90 something, mid 90s year old woman who embellishes a story or is really a false narrator of a story, in the end, it's about grief. And I think regret and grief are family members. My book, in my book, the protagonist, Dan Keller, is 95 years old. He's getting ready to have his 100th birthday party a few years early because he's ready to take charge of his death and his spiritual life. He's ready to ask God for help to get into heaven. He wants forgiveness for many things, but he also wants to tell a story. And he embellishes that story a million times in a million ways. And we have to let them do that. But today I realized that just now, speaking about Eleanor the Great, that the most important story in my book, just like in the movie, is the last story. The very last story is the most important one. And I know it to be true in my book because, just like in Eleanor the Great, she knew it to be true because her friend had experienced it. I had a friend in the 70s, much older than me, named Elsa. And Elsa told me this story, and I've repeated it practically verbatim, I'm sure, in the book. It's the truest story in the book. But it's the most important story in the book. It's a war story. It's World War II. Just like we need to keep the Holocaust stories alive, we need to keep war stories alive. Because we need to stop war, for God's sake, right? Anyway, I highly recommend, if you haven't seen that movie, it's about grief and friendship and remorse.